In today's video, I'll be talking about how to get people to like you. I feel like most people nowadays only have like one or two close friends, including me. It can be kind of hard to make more friends. I suppose the first step of that is just turning yourself into a generally likable person. Once people want to talk to you and enjoy talking to you, it's that much easier for them to pass from that threshold of just acquaintance or like work friend to actual real life, all the time friend. So I came up with 9 rules to follow to be more likable, and the first one is stand up straight with your shoulders back. Your posture tells people a lot about you, and it also reinforces beliefs that you have about yourself. A slumped, shrunken posture shows a lack of self-esteem and confidence. It shows that you're afraid of life and are used to losing. Try to get into the habit of standing upright and walking with confidence. Look people in the eyes too. Confidence is the #1 attractor, far more than fitness or good looks. If you walk around looking defeated, you're more likely to be defeated. If you walk around like life is going your way, it's more likely to start going your way, and people are drawn to success. This is Jordan Peterson's first rule in his book, 12 Rules for Life. He illustrates the importance of exuding confidence through the plight of lobsters in their dominance hierarchies. When lobsters are competing for land and resources, they face off against each other in flexing competitions. If one of them doesn't back down, it turns into an aggressive dance. If one of them still doesn't back down, it turns into a brawl where each one of them tries to tear off the limbs of the other one. In any of these stages, the losing lobster not only loses prime real estate, but also their confidence. Their posture changes to reflect this, and the next time they get into a competition with a rival, their remembered pain or shame makes them more likely to get scared off. Losing once makes them more likely to lose again. They slide down the dominance hierarchy, and over time, they accept their position and give up on climbing the social ladder. On the other hand, the winners get a boost to their egos. This confidence makes them bolder and more headstrong, making them more likely to win again in the future. They cement their position on top of the hierarchy. When it comes to mating, every lobster wants to mate with the most prestigious lobster that they possibly can, meaning the few lobsters at the top of the hierarchies are given the most mating opportunities, and the ones at the bottom have none. Other lobsters can judge where you sit in the dominance hierarchy by looking at your appearance. If you look like you've just won, like you're strong and healthy, they rate you highly. If you look like you've just lost, bedraggled and upset, they rate you poorly. The point is, make the effort to stand up straight and look confident. Fake it till you make it, I guess. Your actions become habits, and your habits determine who you are. Rule number 2, smile. If you smile at someone, they'll smile back. Smiles are infectious. If you spread smiles, people will want to come back to you because you make them smile, you make them feel happy. Smiling will make you happier too. There have been numerous scientific studies that show this. In one study, one group of participants were instructed to hold a pencil in their mouth in a way that would make them smile while they viewed comics, like this. And another group of participants were instructed to hold a pencil in their mouth in a way that would make them frown, like this. The smiling group found the comics funnier than the frowning group. Number 3, listen to people. Don't interrupt. People will enjoy talking to you if you actually let them speak. The more you listen, the more they'll tell you. And you'll probably learn some really interesting things too. Wisdom is the reward from a life spent listening when you'd rather have spoken. And number 4, on a similar note, ask people questions. People like to talk about themselves, but are usually afraid that nobody cares. Show that you care. Give them a reason to talk about what's on their mind. Skip the types of questions that everybody hates about vapid topics like, what are you doing today? Or, how's life? These sorts of questions are so common that not only do they remind most people of working in retail, but they don't feel like the person asking them is genuinely interested in the answer. They've become standard conversational routine. Ask people questions outside the routine, preferably the types of questions that can start a conversation, ones designed to produce open-ended answers rather than yes or no answers. Doing this will get you to become a deeper thinker and better conversationalist as well. The types of questions I usually ask people are very philosophical in nature, but you could design open-ended questions about any topic. This will help you quickly learn about the person you're asking as well, if they're the type of person you want to be friends with, or if they're interested in anything you are. Number 5. Bathe regularly, and shave, and use deodorant. Wear clean and fresh-smelling clothes. People will like talking to you much more if you smell nice rather than smelling like body odor. Plus, maintaining your hygiene shows other people that you have self-esteem. It's also a good indicator of how you live your life and how you treat your things. If you smell like shit, I really don't want to see what your apartment is like. Number 6, tell the truth. People value and respect honesty. It also creates trust. Never lie to someone, even if you think it'll help them. This doesn't mean to go out of your way to tell someone harmful or obnoxious truths. If someone asks you a question that you don't think you can answer honestly without hurting their feelings, try to find the nicest way possible to phrase it. You might hurt some feelings a few times while you try to figure this out, but if you maintain a reputation of honesty, people will take notice. They'll learn not to ask you for comforting lies, which will in turn improve their own mental health as they have one fewer source of reality distortion. Or, if you must, avoid the question in an honest way. You could say something like, I really don't think you want me to answer that question. Number 7, find a passion or a hobby. Do something that you care about that makes you interesting. People want interesting friends, and having a hobby gives you something to talk about to other people. It gives you a way to stand out from the crowd. Of course, don't find a hobby for the purpose of being interesting. That's a bit shallow. Pursue a hobby honestly. Think of what you enjoy, of what interests you, and spend time doing that thing. Maybe it's getting fit, maybe it's playing chess, maybe it's writing poems, maybe it's letterboxing. It doesn't matter. Really, whatever hobby you choose, a side effect will be increasing your intrigue. It's another dimension to your personality to be discovered by others. And it's another thing to offer them that maybe they'll become interested in. Number 8. Analyze what you say before you say it. You don't have to do this all the time. It's the death of quick wit, which is frequently necessary for comedy. But comedy aside, take your time. When your next sentence to say to someone appears in your head, ask yourself, what are your intentions for saying it? Ask yourself how it sounds. What unintended meaning could it have? I suffer from this type of thing a lot. The realization that what I just said could easily be interpreted from a different, more antagonistic or self-centered angle. For instance, if someone is telling you about their recent trip to France, is it really a good idea to say, I've been to France too? What unspoken information does that sentence convey? What will your interlocutor think your reason for saying that is? You might have meant it as a way to show that you understand their experience, or to show that you're interested, or to show that you have something in common that you could both talk about further. But depending on how you phrase it, your tone, and at what point in the conversation you bring it up, it could come off as one-upsmanship, or like you're trying to make it a competition. Like you don't find them interesting, or you want to talk about yourself instead of them. Often, it's better to just express interest or admiration when someone tells you about their trip to France, rather than telling them that you've done the same thing they have. They'll probably want to stop talking about it because it's just become less special. What they thought was interesting or unique now becomes mundane or even silly. And lastly, number 9, say yes to things. Be a yes man. If you've never seen that movie, I highly recommend watching it. Jim Carrey attends an event where the motivational speaker tells the audience to be a yes man, to say yes to every opportunity in life. Jim Carrey thoroughly takes this message to heart. It leads him to learning how to play guitar, learning Korean, becoming a better friend, getting promoted, and overall living a more adventurous and fulfilling life. It also goes a bit astray. He learns that he doesn't have to say yes to every single thing and strictly follow this code, but to just be more open to new experiences. I would suggest the same thing. Say yes to things, but not to absolutely everything. For instance, don't say yes to something that you deem to be unethical. But the point of this is, if you regularly say yes to life opportunities, more opportunities will come your way. If your coworker asks if you want to come out with him to have a drink after work, and you say no, he's that much more likely to not ask you again. He'll think of you as antisocial, or that you don't like him, or that you don't like hanging out in bars. Even if you don't like hanging out in bars, or don't drink, say yes anyway. You don't need to drink alcohol when you're there, but you can still have a good time hanging out with your coworker. If you say yes to an invitation, people will invite you to things more. And I should note that learning how to say no is an equally important life lesson. Being able to hold your ground and resist peer pressure when it's something destructive will generally improve the health of your life, and people will respect you more for it. But yeah, those are really the big pieces of advice that I have, and I think that if you follow all of them, you'll generally become a pretty likable person. At least I hope that's the case. Thank you for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed this video or got something out of it. If you did, please feel free to like it, or comment on it, or better yet, subscribe. I will put up some other videos that I've made right here, Most of them aren't like this one, but I try to make a good variety of videos, so I'll probably do some more like this in the future. And with that, I will see you next time.